How's it going, everyone? Um, Today, I wanted to make a mock draft, and I'm using Pro Football Network's mock draft website. I love it. It's very good. It's very nice. I don't think their rankings are quite as accurate, but I like how their site is formed, so I'm gonna use this. For the first overall pick, I have the Bears selecting Will Anderson. In this mock draft, I'm not going to have any trades because I obviously don't know how to predict that. So we're just going to do the picks that every team has already. And the Bears really have a need for a pass rusher. They're last in sacks, and they give up the most rushing yards in the whole league. So they could use a blue chip prospect like Will Anderson to help them out there. At number 2, I have them going with C.J. Stroud. The Texans take C.J. Stroud. I believe Bryce Young is the better quarterback between him and C.J. But I think teams are going to be wary of Bryce Young's frame as it's quite small. Texans looking in another direction. They take C.J. Stroud. And at number 3, the Cardinals, I have them taking Jalen Carter. They're going to be losing J.J. Watt and potentially Zach Allen if they don't resign him. It's going to be looking rough for their D-line, so they're going to need something to boost it up. Jalen Carter is really good prospect. He is an interior defensive lineman. He can be a 3-tech for him, and yep. Number 4, the Colts need a quarterback. They take Bryce Young. Bryce will start with some really solid options at wide receiver, tight end, and running back. Hopefully the line can stay healthy, and they obviously improve from this year. They've been awful, so can't really go much worse. Number 5, the Seahawks. Seahawks are really good at getting the quarterback. Statistically, they don't blitz much, and they are like halfway in sacks. So it's really impressive that they've been able to get this pressure. However, they do have some aging players. One is Shelby Harris. He'll be 32, and you're not really banking on starting many more seasons. So you take Myles Murphy. Really like Myles Murphy, and he'll be a great addition to that D-line. At number 6, the Lions have a clear need, and Jeff Okudah has been starting to play really good football as of lately. But everyone not named Jeff Okudah in that quarterback room is not the best player. They're going to need some other cornerbacks to really start playing defense well. So here I have them taking Joey Porter. I really like Joey Porter. I think he is the best cornerback in this draft. And at 6, that's where the Lions go. At 7, the Raiders pick. They really, I think they have too many good weapons to go with a rookie quarterback this year, especially not getting one of the best 2 in C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. So I have them going in the offensive line direction. That's Peter Skoronski. I think he potentially is the best lineman in this draft, other than Paris Johnson, obviously. But I think both of them would be very good for this offensive line because they really need help. They're not good. Skoronski's given up 6 pressures and 480 pass blocking snaps this season for Northwestern. So if he can produce, obviously he'll be a better player for the Raiders offensive line. And I think they're going to get a veteran quarterback, and that's obviously going to make the veteran quarterback, whoever it is, want to play for the Raiders more, having a good blindside protector. At number 8, the Falcons are ranked 30th in quarterback hits and last in sack percentage. So they really need someone to put on the defensive line to maybe take some of the load off of the edges or to get the quarterback themselves. And I think Brian Brzee would be a perfect prospect here for the Falcons. Yeah, they give up the 10th most rushing yards too. So I think the whole defensive line just needs someone just to be there, and Brian Brzee could be that guy. At number 9, the Falcons have been in quarterback purgatory for the past couple of seasons since losing Cam Newton, since he got injured pretty much. And I think you have a guy here that flashes Cam Newton every once in a while. Obviously, he has his downsides. Sometimes plays like Matt Castle, but I think the potential's definitely there. And AR-15, great prospect. I think he has the most potential in this whole class. I don't really see Will Levis as that Josh Allen type guy, but Anthony Richardson is the Josh Allen type guy. So I don't know. I think the Falcons take Anthony Richardson here. And I think the Panthers need a potential guy at quarterback. I don't know if you start Anthony Richardson in the first year, but if he can unlock something of that Josh Allen type player, even half of him, I think they would really appreciate that, because they have a very good team around. They have a very good team around Anthony Richardson if they do draft him. Their running backs are solid. Their wide receivers are pretty good. Their offensive line is improving. Their defense is pretty good as well. I think they could be a very good unit next year. So I think this is a good pick here. At number 10, the Eagles' first round pick. I think you really have a need at edge here, because you're losing a couple people to free agency. Wilson has a ton of potential, and I think in this defense he could be very good. There's a lot of studs everywhere, so that takes a lot of pressure off Tyree Wilson. So I think this is the pick here. At number 11, Tennessee desperately needs an O-line. I think I read somewhere that they'll have like 2 or 3 players returning next year from the offensive line, and only like one of them is a starter. So you're pretty much gonna be using scraps, and I think Tennessee will go like 3 picks on offensive line in this whole draft. So yeah, Paris Johnson, sorry. Desperate need at O-line. This is the Texans' second pick in the first round, and they're likely to trade Brandon Cooks, so that offense really doesn't have that many weapons. I think getting a weapon here would really appreciate CJ. So yeah, the best wide receiver in the class, I think, is Quentin Johnston. Yeah, that's the pick there. He's a very dynamic player with the ball in his hands, and he's a very, very big player as well. So this Jets roster is really good. I think they have potential to make the playoffs next year, because they started off the year really solid this year. But their starting left tackle is 37. His name is Dwayne Brown. I think someone that will rise up draft boards is Broderick Jones. I don't know about being a top 10 pick, but top 15 I can see definitely. And I think the Jets, I think that's a perfect fit right there. Yeah, and having a like I said with the Raiders, having a blindside protector in Broderick Jones could influence a veteran quarterback to want to play for them. So, number 14, the Patriots. They're potentially losing Jacoby Myers and Nelson Aguilar. And personally, I can't really see them taking a wide receiver in the first round. That's what I'm going to go here because it just makes total sense to me. Mac Jones, I think, needs that wide receiver one. And out of all of these guys, I think JSN has the most potential. He's a really solid weapon, and he's gonna be great right off the bat in that season. So I think that's the pick there. I think it's smart. Number 15, Green Bay. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers will be back, but Alan Lazard has already come out and say during his post-game interview in the last game that he will not be playing for the Packers next year. Randall Cobb also potentially might not. I think that's all dependent on Aaron Rodgers being back, but even if he's not, Randall Cobb and Lazard will still not be there. I think they need another wide receiver to pair with their first round rookie from last year. And typically, I don't like double dipping on 2 years in a row going to the same position. However, I think it is such a need. And if you're going with your young quarterback and I'm forgetting his name out, but the Packers backup they drafted a couple years ago, I think he's a solid player. But obviously, more weapons the better. Jordan Addison is a good fit. Number 16, the Commanders. They're a fringe playoff team, and I think realistically, they could make the playoffs next year. I think they're one quarterback away, but I don't think that's what they do here. I think Christian Gonzalez is a very good corner, and that is their biggest need, the Commanders. So, I think you do here. And at number 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their best corner is set to head to free agency, and he will get paid very well. And I don't know if the Steelers want to pay him, so if they move off of him, they can go quarter here and save a ton of money. And I think they need that. So Keely Ringo, potential guy, didn't play very well in the playoffs, but if he can play like he did in some of the games, he's going to be a very good player. At number 18, the Lions defense. In every game, they played either really well or really bad, and they need to be more consistent. So they need a player that can help them unlock it. It's not their biggest need, but Trenton Simpson, really solid player, can play so many different positions. I really like the versatility. I think that'd give a lot of offensive coordinators a fit trying to deal with him. So if he wants to play linebacker, safety, slot corner, he's a jack of all trades, and I think he would make this defense really, really scary. At number 19 here, it took me a long time to really think of a player here because the Bucks are losing Jamel Dean and Sean Marshall Bunting. They're not losing; they're hitting free agency, and they possibly could lose them both. So corner here would be very smart. But you don't really know who the quarterback is, and Kyle Trask is really not that guy. And I don't think they think he's that guy. So Will Levis here. And I'm not really high on Will Levis at all. I don't think he's going to be a good player. But obviously a lot of scouts are a fan of his. He's got a big arm. I think that offense around him would be like their offense is really skilled. Having all those players around a young quarterback obviously helps in his development, so maybe that can help. I don't know. I don't like Will Levis, but maybe he can become something in that offense. At number 20, the Seahawks quarterback next year will be Geno Smith. He'll be 32. I know he'll be 33. And I can see him playing until he's 35, 36, maybe 37. I don't know. I'm not a psychic, but I can see him playing then. Until then, he's a very solid quarterback. So I don't know why you go quarterback here. Tyler Lockett's getting older. I think he'll be 31, 32 next year. I think he's 30 right now. So you might want to get another wide receiver. Dwayne Eskridge is a really old second-year player. I think he's 25 right now. And I don't really like him as a player either. So I think getting a player here would be very nice for Geno Smith. Really help him out. So, Zay Flowers, I think, is the third or fourth best wide receiver in this class, and I think that fit is so perfect. He's a very elusive player who you just really need to get him the ball, and he'll make a play downfield. So, I like that fit. At 21, the Jags are not deep at corner at all. Shaquille Griffin has been really disappointing for them, and when he has played, it wasn't very good, and he's really missed a lot of time with injury. So I think they need another quarterback badly. Player I really like in this class is Devin Witherspoon. I think this could either be Devin Witherspoon or Cam Smith, but I'm going to go Devin Witherspoon here just because I like the fit. And then you go to New York. New York needs a number one wide receiver for Daniel Jones. I would not be surprised if they trade for one. I think they might be in the mix for Brandon Cooks. However, I don't think the first round pick is going to be moved. So I think they need maybe two guys because Darius Slayton's not going to be back, I don't think. So you need two guys. Kayshon Boutte, a lot of potential. I really like him. Sorry, I don't really like him, but I know he does have a lot of potential, and he could be very good. But I just don't really see it. I like the fit here though, so I'm gonna go that. Boutte, he needs to be more productive. A couple of years ago, he was really good for LSU. I don't know if he played when Joe Burrow was there, but I remember he had a very good season in 2020, I think it was. And then every single year since his first year playing, it's just been getting gradually worse. But he's shown that he could be a good player, so I'm going to go that. This is another interesting pick I have. The Ravens really they need a wide receiver for Lamar Jackson if he is there again. I don't know if he's going to be there, but I have them taking the best player available at this position, and that's Bijan Robinson. I understand that they have J.K. Dobbins, but to me, Bijan is a really, really good player who would keep defensive coordinators up at night. And if Lamar Jackson's back, you're adding Bijan Robinson with Lamar Jackson, and they have Mark Andrews. They'll have Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay next year. Maybe you go after another veteran wide receiver. I think that team is really scary. They probably have the best rushing attack in the league with Dobbins, Robinson, and Jackson. So I really like this fit. Yeah, a really scary offense if they go with Bijan. And moving to the Chargers' 24th pick. I think this pick and the Jags pick are pretty much whoever you don't pick, I get. So this pick would be Cam Smith. I think Cam Smith is a better player, but I think Devin Witherspoon has more potential. I think Devin Witherspoon is going to start off being a better player, but Cam Smith has more potential. Sorry, I said that completely wrong. So that's what I have here. The secondary is completely depleted. I don't know if J.C. Jackson will start playing next year. I think he might come back halfway during the season, so they really needs a corner. Cam Smith, great prospect. Uh, him falling to 24 would be a miracle, but I can see it happening. And that's what I have going. At 25, the Cowboys, their defense is really good, but it's kind of fallen off ever since that halfway mark when Micah Parsons was completely dominating. So here, I have them going with a Mike linebacker and Drew Sanders. I'm a big fan of Drew Sanders. I'd love if he fell to the second round because the Chiefs are my favorite team. So I'd like if the Chiefs took him in the second round. But I have him going in the first round here. I can see them going with Noah Sewell, but Noah Sewell just had an awful year this year. He was so good last year for Oregon, and he just completely fell off this year. I don't understand what happened, but I think Drew Sanders is the better player right now, and that's what they go with here. I think he can help out Micah Parsons. He can rush the passer. He's a great tackler. He runs downfield really well. I think if you play him with Leighton Vander Esch, they can go well. But Leighton Vander Esch has not been good in coverage, and I think Drew Sanders could help out a little bit there. I know he's not the best coverage linebacker, but he's probably better than Leighton Vander Esch, let's be honest. At number 26, this is another interesting pick I had. The Bengals have a big need at interior defensive line, and I think they need a 3-tech, and me personally, I am obsessed with Calijah Conti. I don't know how you pronounce this. I don't know. But I'm a big fan of his. Out of Pitt. Super well-rounded prospect. He completely dominates interior linemen with his athleticism. He's instinctual, really smart player, and he's really patient when the other team is rushing the ball. I think he's a better pass rusher than he is a run stopper, but they already have DJ Reader, so I think that'd be a really scary defensive line with Hubbard and Hendrickson if they're both there next year. At 27, the Vikings have a severe need at corner, and I have them going with Brian Branch, just because he can play slot, and he can play a box role kind of like Harrison Smith. I don't know if Harrison will be back next year. I don't know if he's announced his retirement or not, but that's what I have going here. I really like Brian Branch. I don't know if he's a corner or a safety. He kind of plays both. So I think that's a need that they can take care of, kind of fill in that Harrison Smith role and corner role if they need it. At 28, this took me a while to come up with. At first, I had them going with Jalen Hyatt because I don't know if Jerry Jeudy will be back next year, but even then, their wide receivers are really not deep at all. But I think they can probably get Jalen Hyatt in the later rounds, probably second round. I don't know if they have a second round pick. I need to check that, but don't really see them going wide receiver in the first round. However, I think it makes total sense that they go and get Isaiah Foskey out of Notre Dame. They lost Bradley Chubb in a trade, obviously. That's how they have this pick, and they kind of just get his replacement. And Foskey, I really like him as a prospect. He's a good pass rusher. He's a big guy too, 6'5", 260, I believe. And they replace Bradley Chubb with Foskey. 29, the Bills pick. Their two offensive guards are not Great players. Roger Saffold will be 35, and Ryan Bates is just like an okay player. I think he can be replaced. So I think this is partly why their rushing attack is really limited, because their offensive guards just don't really win that many blocks. So they are taking the best guard in the class, O'Cyrus Torrence. Really good player, a lot of potential. Easily start at right tackle, or sorry, right guard next year if Roger Saffold decides to retire. Like this pick, like the fit. I think the Bills need to focus on offensive line so they don't end up like the Chiefs, and their quarterback is running for their life. So at 30, the Chiefs, my favorite team. I spent a lot of time paying attention to this pick, and realistically, OBJ, Orlando Brown Jr., not Odell. OBJ is not a good player. I'll say that right now. You need a left tackle. I believe we'll go after right tackle in free agency, but I don't think OBJ is going to be back next year. Hasn't played good. Anton Harrison, really solid player. I really like Anton Harrison. They need a player at left tackle, and if he comes to Kansas City, he'll fall in a great situation with a good line. So I think that'll help him out. I like the fit. He'll play left tackle, blindside for Patrick Mahomes. He's played really well at Oklahoma, blocked for some of the best quarterbacks in college. So I like that fit. At 31, the Eagles, they have a need at corner because Bradbury probably won't be back there next year. Darius Slay is getting older, so I have them going with Clark Phillips at Utah.